The starting lineup for tonight's opponent, San Francisco Glens SC, is starting in goal, number 1, Isa Banuelos. Number 2, Gianna Islama. Number 3, Jesse Halliday. Number 6, Maya Batista. Number 9, Peyton Marces. Number 11, Cameron Penn. Number 16, Karina Laguerre. Number 18, Elise Evans. Number 19, America Frias. Number 20, Jenny Imathan. And the captain, number 7, Nadia Gomes. The head coach of San Francisco Glens SC is Mike Sherrod. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your Indy 11, presented by USL Hockey. Starting in goal, number 1, Nona Reason. Number 5, Grace Barr. Number 9, Katie Soderstrom. Number 10, Maddie Chester. Number 12, Maddie Williams. Number 13, Jenna Chatterton. Number 15, Aaliyah Martin. Number 20, Annika Schmidt. Number 21, Sam Dewey. Number 22, Britta Krasula. And your captain, number 16, Ella Rogers. And coach of Indy 11 is Paul Delinsky. He's assisted by assistant coaches Brandon Kidd and Grace Barr. The goalkeeper coach is Kelly Freeland. And the head athletic trainer is Sierra Gardner.
Tonight's W League semifinal is brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care simply delivered, and Alpha Health and Wellness, the official team chiropractor for Indy 11 W League. Alongside Brad Hodder, I'm Ian Gilmore. Thank you for joining us on this Friday night, this most exciting Friday night, Brad, as we welcome two of the best teams in the W League this season into Grand Park. SF Glens has shown that they are the best team out in California. Indy 11 has shown over the last 2 months they are the best team in the Midwest region, and thus we are here tonight as the teams prepare to walk out. Two teams that have lost just once this season, two teams that have won games convincingly this season. Brad, when you look at this contest, what's the first thing that catches your eye?
Well, you look at both of them had very similar runs. You know, they were both top of the table in their division, and the number 2 and number 3 teams were the only ones that were kind of close, and they all kind of nicked each other as far as taking a loss. So it's going to be really interesting to see, since we don't play teams from out there. We don't have really a good comparison. You know, I watched them on tape today against Oakland. It's going to be a handful. It's going to be a handful, but I've seen us play in person, and I know how good we are and how great we can be.
You've played this game, you've coached this game all across the country. In talking with Phil Presser just before we came on air, he mentioned that West Coast soccer and Midwest soccer are two very different things. In your experience, how do these two match up?
Well, you look, and it's almost the same in the USL Championship, too. There's just a little bit different style of play. You know, sometimes it's a little bit more high scoring out west, a little bit more defensive out on the east. So it'll be interesting. It's always fun to see these two styles match up and how the tactics change, because it's the first look at this different style for each one of these teams. The
atmosphere, as you can tell, is already growing here in Grand Park. This is a cross-country trip for San Francisco. Do you think that travel will play any effect in the game tonight?
Oh, I think there's a few things. I think, not just playing on Sunday, a long trip to travel. You're playing indoors. You're going to have 2,000 people screaming in this building. So there's a lot of things that may be new. Now, they're all high-quality players, so it doesn't take you long to settle into the game. But let's see how the crowd, how being indoors, and how the travel affects them. I think you'll see that first 10 to 15 minutes. After that, I think they'll settle into the game just fine.
We'll step aside one more time before we get right into the action on the other side of this.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me. And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And we're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
Real quick, if you are sending video to a college coach, would you want it to look like this? Did he save it? Who knows? Come on. Do you want your potential coach to see that video or this one? Of course, the answer is simple. Give us a call or check out our website, recruitproductions.com, for more information.
Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Central Indiana Honda Dealers. Central Indiana is proud to be Honda's home turf too. We'll start with the home side. Indy 11 with their usual front three of Addie Chester, Maddie Williams, and Katie Soderstrom. A midfield of Sam Dewey, Ella Rogers, and Greta Krazula. Nona Reason remains in goal, and the only change of the night is in front of her. Aaliyah Martin will re-enter the fray. Jenna Chatterton, Grace Barr, and Annika Creel will fill out that back four. Brad, a change where there's essentially three center backs on the field filling two center back spots.
Yeah, when you look at it though, you take a look at the high IQ. Grace Barr moving into that assistant coaching role has got that elevated, soccer brain. And so I think when you have a situation where you've got a couple of players that may be playing in a position that they're a little less comfortable with, when you have a veteran, when you got the high soccer IQ back there, you can still sort those problems out.
Mike Sharabi's SF Glens have had to change things a bit tonight. Three changes for them. First up front, a front three of Halliday, Frias, and Gomes. A midfield of Laguerre, Bautista will slide in as well, and Marcis will complete the midfield. We might even see Imathan in the midfield tonight, but Islava is in for Piper. Elise Evans, the standout freshman from Stanford, will play at center back, and Penn will go in for Travers with Banuelos in net. The keys to the game are also presented by the Central Indiana Honda Dealers. Central Indiana proud to be Honda's home turf too. Brad?
Yep. Don't bite, Ian. Don't do it. So in this, you take a look. I got the chance to watch them play the Oakland Soul today, and this is an unbelievably fast-paced team that moves the ball very quickly, both collectively and individually. And so for Indy 11, they cannot be biting on that first touch because the first touch is often a separating touch, and if Indy bites, they're gone. On the second key, it's no separation in the defensive third. You take a look, this team has no fear in pulling the trigger from 25, 30 yards out. Indy's got to step up. They can't allow those shots. They can't allow that look in the back third. And then they have to watch the high line. This is a team that has got ridiculous pace. If the gaps between the center backs or the gaps between the center backs and the wing backs is too big and the line is too high, expect that ball to be played through and them to use their pace to chase it down.
Last time we saw Indy 11 on this field, they won the game 16-0. I don't think the game will go anything like that tonight. 95 combined goals, 22 combined wins, and 2 months of hard work have all led to this. The W League semifinal from Grand Park in Indianapolis, Indy 11, and San Francisco Glens. Our first look tonight at Annika Creel, who seems to be maybe slotting into left center back, unless we could be seeing a back three here too, but I'm curious of what you're seeing early on shape-wise from the 11.
Well, you're looking at Soderstrom tucking all the way back, and you don't know if that is something. Sometimes you can use that as a decoy. You put a talented goal scorer or front player in the back, and they're less visible as they start getting up the field. But there may also be something that they saw in scouting that says, hey, she's a good matchup in this position for us tonight.
Isa Bonuelos pressured by Maddie Williams. Grace Barr steps up, comes up a bit gimpy. The Xavier standout, started her career at Wisconsin. And right away, I have to give a shout out to the BYB and everyone who's in attendance tonight, creating the best atmosphere of the season so far. Here's Penn, one of the players that has been inserted into the starting 11. Looking wide, Nadia Gomes, the Portugal international, into the box. It's brought down, laid off. Trouble here for Indy. They were able to clear it out. It was Aaliyah Martin's left foot who got to that first.
What a terrific play. Up to the target player, just little flick back for an opportunity to pull the trigger.
Cameron Penn, a member of the Big West all-freshman team a year ago, finds Peyton Marzis in the middle. Chatterton steps up and wins it. Now Sam Dewey, pressure on her back, and San Francisco able to win it back. They'll keep playing, referee given advantage. Trying to find their way around Creel. Ball into the box, Gomez whips it in once more. Brought down. Addie Chester looking to hold up play, but can't find it under her feet. It's gonna be a tough matchup for anybody who's going against Elise Evans tonight.
Good turnover, good opportunity in transition for Indy.
Creel wide to Katie Soderstrom. 5 years at Butler, holds a bunch of Butler records for her goal scoring and assists for the Bulldogs. 11 goals last year for Indy 11. The production has fallen off a little bit from her. Maddie Williams could be through here. Just not able to get there in front of Benuelos, but an early chance for Indy.
Yeah, great little thought. Put the ball through the seam just a little bit too heavy. Look at this pace.
Nadia Gomes too quick for Creel. Gomes going it for it herself. Past that near post.
And that's where we talk about in those keys is that you just can't bite. When they separate, they're gone. So you got to make sure that if you're going in for that ball, you're able to get a piece of it. Otherwise, you got to drop and keep the ball in front of you.
Gomes with 10 caps across the senior and U19 sides for Portugal. Turnover atop of the box here. That could have been way more dangerous for the 11. Trying to play it out of the back, but Greta Krasula was under pressure right away. Gomes with Creel on her once more. Excuse me, that's Frias. Gives away the foul. San Francisco applying a high press right out of the gates, causing Indy some problems, but Reason is able to get it all the way forward. Turned over once more. Oh, look at that skill from Gomes. Creel doing well to get behind the ball, but gives away the free kick. Already seeing that pedigree from Gomes down this left-hand side.
And that may be why you've put Soderstrom here, not just to get a goal scorer's mindset in the defending, but can Katie Soderstrom be dangerous enough going forward that Gomes has to think and pick and choose her times when she's going to go?
These 5 minutes brought to you by Fluid Waste Services. Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989. Penn once more, a 1-2 into the box.
Wow.
Penn is there, onto her right foot. Good tackle put in by Aaliyah Martin. It seemed that Penn might have had a better chance if she kept it on her left.
Great little give and go.
If there was any question of the Glens being up for this, that has been answered very, very quickly. Easily the better team in these first 6 minutes. Gomes over to take the corner. Swung into the middle of the box, brought down. The shot comes away, blocked before it could get to Reason. Grace Barr is able to clear. Paul Dolinsky with hands.
It's one thing you love in a team is their willingness to pull the trigger. You know, some players, it's got to be a full window. It's got to be completely open. Some need a half window. Some don't need to even see the window. They just know where the goal is. They pull the trigger.
Frias turns on Barr. Ball whipped across the face, out for a goal kick. A couple things you'll hear us say tonight about this San Fran Glens team is experience with national teams at both the youth levels and the senior levels for some. And you'll probably hear the club name Bay Area Surf quite a lot because just about every player that's out here has played for Bay Area Surf at one time or another. When it comes to Indy 11, a lot of players that play in the Big East Conference. A couple players that have played in NWSL in those ranks. Gomes is one of those players for San Fran. That's an interesting battle tonight. Annika Creel, formerly of the Houston Dash. Nadia Gomes, formerly of the Orlando Pride. Here it is once more. Gomez getting to the byline. Creel doing really well to use her physicality.
They have no problem committing bodies to defensive pressure. They had 6 players in this little 20% section of the field.
Even now up top, it's just man marking all the way down the back line. Indy will go away from playing out of the back. Reason to send it long. Dewey with a really clever touch on. Chester's pass just not good enough. Look at that.
It's magnificent.
Beautiful play from the Glens to move it from left to right. They'll come forward now. Target man comes forward, but Frias only able to get it to the feet of Barr.
Clever. I like that little thought from Katie Soderstrom. Just a little misdirection just to see if that ball could run and get her out into space.
She has begun to get more and more successful this season once Maddie Williams has come into the fray and taken that attention off her. I'm curious your thoughts tonight on playing a little bit not so far up the field, how that might hurt or help her.
Well, I think it's going to help. I think, you know, you need to find, you got so many great goal scorers, you need to find ways to get them all on the field at the same time. And I think giving Katie Soderstrom the freedom to go up when it's on allows you to have that 4th great goal scorer up in the attacking third.
Remember the Johnson controls. Johnson controls the power behind your mission. As we check out this free kick. Barr and Dewey standing over it. Barr will punch it towards that back post. Creel would have had to get something very special on it with her head from there. Both teams will elect to play out of the back. Elise Evans, mentioned her once before, but the freshman of the year in college soccer in 2022 lived up to the hype of being the #1 recruit coming out of high school. And as such was the first player ever announced for the Glens. Sam Dewey thinks that's a corner. Referee doesn't agree. I love seeing tonight too. These are teams that, with respect to the teams in their divisions, really blitzed through their divisions. 2 total losses combined in the regular season for both these sides, and there was many games when wins came easily. When you're so used to that throughout the season, Brad, how do you make sure that from minute 1 you're locked in here?
Part of that is done when you select the players, because you got to find the players that have the mindset that's just of that championship warrior quality, that it doesn't matter if it's a 4-0 scoreline. The next game, you're going to play it like it's the World Cup final.
Maddie Williams to the byline, tries to cut it back first time. Cut out at the first by Amaya Bautista. Penn comes forward once more. She's been in the attacking half more than the defensive half so far tonight. Out wide to Islava. Makes her way past Chatterton. Indy will bring their lines forward as that one stays in all the way. Chatterton, one of the fastest players on the pitch. Pressing Evans all the way back to Benuelos. Krazula wins it but flicks it on in the midfield. Penn, one of those players that won a couple national championships with the Bay Area Surf in 2019 and 2021. We'll switch it to the right now. Islava on the far side. Now Marces. Crossing towards the back post. Katie Soderstrom using her defensive abilities, clear that one out.
The tough part with the 1 and 2 touches, the way that the Glens are playing, it's so difficult to defend because the ball's just moving so quickly.
Leah Martin's been most successful along that back line so far of getting her foot to the ball. Cutting inside now is San Fran. I think they were looking for Frias through the middle, but the run didn't come. Played forward by Indy. Addie Chester to run it down. Elise Evans will see it out. Being a standout at Stanford was kind of always destined for her. 5th generation student athlete there. Had a great grandpa that won a doubles tennis title in 1936. Both parents were athletes there. Her mother was part of the soccer team that went to the first ever College Cup for the Cardinal. I bet their head coach was happy. He probably didn't have to do as much recruiting as he thought with the #1 recruit in the country.
Well, what you hope for in those situations as a college coach is that, hey, okay, great pedigree athletically, legacy,
yep,
but can you get in? I mean, you got to be pretty smart to get into Stanford.
Maddie Williams trying to keep this one in down the far side. She will. Addie Chester is the only body in the box. Williams with time and space towards the back post. It's over the hand of Bautista. Ella Rogers to finish. It's blocked over the line. Chester finishes it off!
Great goal.
Third tie is a charm, and Indy is ahead in the USL W League semifinal.
What great spacing in the box, you know, as that ball's bouncing around. And all these deflections, you've got bodies, you've got Indy 11 players everywhere and in position to just pick up any kind of a loose ball and tuck it away.
That is the first real chance they've had tonight too in a game like this where they've been on the back foot for a good portion of it. Finishing your chances off is something that's important and something they haven't necessarily done all season.
No, we've seen, you know, players putting it over the bar at that same distance, and so you look at this, and here you got to have elevated level of focus. You got a crowd. You're in a high pressure game, so to be able to execute, that's not an easy ball. You know, that ball is bouncing, and there's a lot of traffic in the box.
The sophomore this fall, heading back to Louisville, gets Indy ahead in Indianapolis. 14 minutes in. If you're San Fran, you don't change anything, do you? I mean, you've had a good game so far.
Yeah, you've pretty much controlled the flavor of the game right now. It was a goal against the run of play. There's no need for a tactical change at this point. If that goal provides a little bit of life for Indy, or, you know, if they take their foot off the gas, you may need to make some kind of a tactical tweak.
Benuelos once again under pressure from Maddie Williams. It's about the 3rd time she's done that tonight, is high press the keeper. Sam Dewey tight on the back of Imogen. San Fran will go long. That's almost seemed like it's inspired a little bit more life into Indy 11 here as well. Chester, no stranger to scoring goals. 201 in her high school career at Delta. Her junior year had 59 goals, 19 assists. That goal record still stands in the state today as most in a single season. I think she's another one that sort of benefits from the goal-scoring talent around her when the pressure isn't all on her. When you have Katie Soderstrom and Maddie Williams that fills out a front three. Speaking of, here's Maddie Williams into the box. And when you have Sam Dewey behind you in the 10, not too bad.
Yeah,
well.
and you know, Louisville's really high on her. I was texting with the assistant coach today. He was one of my former assistants, and he's like, oh, we love her down here.
A couple of Louisville Cardinals on this team. Sam Dewey makes her way, cuts it back into the box, looking for the goal scorer at Chester. Glens can come forward. Look at the tracking back here by Soderstrom. Gomes gets past her though. Gomes will go on her own, past Grace Barr onto her unfavored right foot. Grace Barr just does enough to pressure her into giving it away. Chester played her college ball with Maisie Whitsitt, Lizzie Sexton as well. Both on the bench for Indy 11 today. Glens with possession in the final third. Marcis looking for the through ball. But Frias will not get on the end of it. These next 5 minutes brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered.
Yeah, that play that they just ran right there, that's something they're very, very effective with, is just having a little bit of a gap between a wing back and a center back and just splitting the seam between those and then using their pace to get on it. And that's where Indy's got to be really careful to make sure that their back line isn't too high.
Especially in an interesting sort of change in system, I think we can pretty much say it's a 3-back fight with wing backs tonight, so something that they haven't really played too much this season, if at all.
You can see they've always got eyes on Gomes, whether it's Soderstrom dropping back in.
Here she is again.
Or when she goes, Schmidt dropping in, just making sure that there's somebody close at all times.
On the edge of the box, here's Laguerre. That's where she is dangerous. Scored the game winner against Cal Storm in the conference championship from right in that area. Long ball looping over the back. No pressure on Katie Soderstrom. She'll let that one roll out for a goal kick. I'm just still loving this Nadia Gomes and Annika Creel battle down here. It's interesting too, I mean, we saw in the first 5 minutes, Creel knows she doesn't have the pace. If it gets to a foot race, she's not gonna win it. So it's interesting how she's still staying tight, not letting Gomes turn, trying to keep pressure on.
And you see the tactical adjustment in the locker room, how Katie Soderstrom is tracking back, recognizing that she needs to help.
Penn forward to Frias. Penn once more. Wide to Gomes. Looking to go into her bag of tricks. Gets to the byline. A nice cross. Comfortably collected by Reason. Reason has not conceded a goal in just about a month. June 15th in that fluke St. Charles loss 2-0 in this building. That's the last time the Indy 11 have conceded a goal.
You look, as painful as that was to go through, look at what's happened since that moment. I mean, it's just been one of those things that every now and then a team that's as successful as Indy 11's been over the last 2 years just needs that wake-up call. Sometimes just needs to be knocked down.
Same sort of thing happened with San Francisco as well. The last game of the regular season, losing to Oakland, and then going and beating them 5-1 in the playoffs a couple games later. Chester looking for Krasula. Yaslava does well to track back. Yaslava, the player out of College of Idaho, NAIA honorable mention All-American, at the top of the game in NAIA. Chester is dispossessed. Krasula wins it back in the midfield. Ella Rogers wide to Katie Soderstrom, a Big East connection. Soderstrom with an early ball to the back post, just over the head of Sam Dewey. Got her head on it, just enough to stop its momentum and keep it in.
What a great thought and a great ball.
Wins the corner as well. If you haven't watched Indy 11 games before, typically their center backs are over their set pieces. During the season, it was typically Grace Barr and Trinity Watson, who's moved on now. Quick congrats to her as well on her move to Cyprus. Barr with the ball into the box. A good one, searching towards that back post. It's cleared away. Here comes Gomes. 23rd overall selection in the 2018 NWSL draft. Hounded by Soderstrom, the forward who takes it away from her. Krasula back to Reason.
With the pace that the Glens are coming with and their willingness to press, Indy's got to be very careful with those balls played back.
That one hits off the head of the referee, and he's going to bring it back, which he has to do. Unfortunate in that situation, and Chatterton hasn't heard the whistle yet, because that was going to be a good ball through from Rogers to a speedy Chatterton in the corner. We'll bring it back, and we'll start things at the feet of Grace Barr instead. Grace Barr started her career at Wisconsin, played with the big name on U.S. Women's National Team, Rose Lavelle there. Transferred to Xavier after a couple years. Was on the second team All-Big East in 2018, and her senior year was on the first team All-Big East 2019. Penn gets there before Soderstrom. Something that will possibly come into play tonight, depending on how things go. Grace Barr is also Indy 11's designated penalty taker. Soderstrom to throw in, right around 20 yards out. Sam Dewey comes and shows, lets it run across her body, but Imathin is right there. Soderstrom defensively working hard once again.
I love it.
Here's Williams, what a touch around Penn. Gets around a second defender as well and is fouled.
Wow, that's next level. Next level quickness and technical ability.
That's a player who's played in Europe against a center back who just finished her sophomore year at Oregon State. These 5 minutes brought to you by Alpha Health and Wellness, the official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor. Five bodies into the box for Indy 11. Sam Dewey, Grace Barr stand over the ball. This is always dangerous when it's a right foot and a left foot over it. Benuelo sets her two-person wall.
Oh, I think you can even have a little touch into Soderstrom here.
Dewey will play it in. The first one, Martin is there at the front post but can't get her head to it. She had almost a free header but whiffed on the attempt. Chatterton calmly brings it down. Barr sends it back over to Williams, who looks like she is onside. Williams into Chester, the goal scorer looking for a second. Ella Rogers is in, saved by Benuelos. The flag did not come up. Big chance for Indy, missed by the captain. That is not a spot Ella Rogers has found herself in too much this season. But the couple times that she has, she'll tell you there's been chances before that she's wanted back, and that is definitely one that's going to fall into that category. Glens coming forward with numbers. Dewey tracking back.
Love it, love it. When you got your leading scorer making a run with that kind of pace to track back to do the defensive work, that shows the heart of a champion, someone who wants to win.
Referee giving a handball against San Fran. Frustration maybe setting in just a bit, 25 minutes into this one, 1-0 down. The game has definitely evened out since the goal. Peyton Marsa is still upset with something that was happening. I think she might have wanted a foul before the handball happened. Long ball diagonal towards Katie Soderstrom. Gets there before Penn. Penn will get to the on the second chance. Soderstrom finds Krasula. The Aussie will play it back to Creel. Chester has swapped wings and is on the right now. Maddie Williams stands near the back post. Cameron Penn, valedictorian in high school, moves it forward. Marina Laguerre is a name we haven't said too much yet tonight. Of course, the game winner in the conference championship. Really nice calm through pass back to Bautista, now to Islava. Another product of Bay Area surf. Bad giveaway in the midfield. Maddie Williams is through, Addie Chester may be through, but it just had a little bit too much on it from Sam Dewey.
Yeah, and you've seen a change here. The Glens early on, very clean, the ball moving, pinging around, 1 and 2 touches, moving east, west, north, south. Now there's been turnover after turnover after turnover, and they haven't been able to break through the middle third right now.
Is that because Indy 11 has sort of figured their pressure out?
I think there's 2 aspects of it. One is I think the goal has elevated the confidence and the energy for Indy 11. And I think the other aspect is Indy's been able to hold possession more than they did that first 10 to 15 minutes. And the Glens have had to spend more of their energy now defending.
Islava into Frias. Into a battle with Martin. Martin wins this round. Lee Sevens will track this one down. Even in her heyday, Maddie Williams might have had trouble in a foot race with Evans. Her mom, even though she was on the soccer team, did track and field as well.
See, here's where Katie Soderstrom can be a bit sneaky coming out from that outside right back spot. A little bit of width, she can just disappear out here.
The foul goes against Grace Barr.
Job from Indy. Ball gets played back. The back line steps up, takes another 10 to 15 yards of space and field position.
Slava being hounded by Chatterton. All she can do is put it out of play. Chatterton will be heading back to Tennessee this fall with the Vols. Injured for a lot of the 2022 season, so she'll be hoping she can stay healthy. Ball into the box. Maddie Williams tried something audacious. Looked like she caught Bautista with it as well. Will continue to play. Chatterton into the box now. Just over the head of Rogers. 3 Glens around it, and they'll make their way forward now. Frias takes a tumble in the middle of the pitch while she was going by Krasula. Krasula wins it back.
Well defended.
Here's Creel now. You will notice sometimes you will have seen Annika Creel referred to as Annika Schmidt. She just did get married recently, so that name change has been going into effect. She's looking to play it long. For Rogers, it will roll out for a goal kick. We'll check on Bautista, make sure she's all right after she was down.
Tell you, I like that run from Maddie Williams in the box. You kind of hide behind your defender a little bit, and then you pop up on a shoulder and just see if you can't get a foot in to flick the ball away.
I read a really cool article about her, Brad. It was from 2018, but I read it today. When she tore her ACL and sat out here at Purdue, the one thing she noticed about sitting out is she could pick out the things that she wasn't doing so well. And so in watching that game, she said that she started getting praise for her movement off the ball, which is something that she never got comments about before.
That's crazy. When you're that athletic and that fast, sometimes you can rely on that so much that the tactical side just doesn't develop. And then sitting and watching and seeing and studying helps develop that side.
Here she is. A shot towards the back post is blocked right away. Martin once again winning the battle. This time it's with Gomes. A 3-on-4 for Indy 11. Chester with a nice in between the legs move into Maddie Williams, who puts it just wide, and the flag did come up.
Wow.
Chances are starting to pile up here.
And it continues to come in transition off of turnovers in the middle third from San Francisco.
Or that Sports Tech. Indiana winning is in our DNA. For more information, visit forthewinners.com. Martin wins the header. She's been solid so far in these first 31 minutes. Dewey with a clash of heads in the midfield. Stays on her feet, she'll continue. Soderstrom comes forward to check pen. Islava is pretty wide open on that right-hand side. Chester goes back to meet her, wins the ball off her, out for a throw.
You can see as that ball is taking longer and longer to move around the field for San Francisco, Indy's releasing 2 players to meet the ball.
Chatterton goes down to her knees to get that one. Community Health Network, exceptional care simply delivered. Proud partner of Indy 11. Slava, another one of those Bay Area surf products. Spent this last year with the College of Idaho, 13 goals, 4 assists as a defender. In the NAIA ranks, Sam Dewey could be off here. It's a 3-on-2. Maddie Williams to her right, Maddie Chester to her left. She'll go to Williams. Williams has space. Williams for 2!
What a save.
Saved by Banuelos. Did really well to get down to her right hand quickly there. Maddie Williams would probably tell you it wasn't a good enough shot from her.
Great job by Sam Dewey to recognize and attack the space.
Another big chance. Banuelos with 2 big saves now. That one, the one on Ella Rogers just a few minutes ago. This one could definitely be more than 1. It'll stay there for now. Williams flicks it on right into the hands of Banuelos. Didn't play in the fall in her freshman season with St. Mary's. You can't really tell by the form she's in tonight. Spent 4 years on varsity at James Logan High School in California. Get this too, Brad. Her senior year, gave up 1 goal, scored 2.
Holy cow. That's a good plus minus.
Gomes is into the box now, trying to flick it over Creel. Creel doing very well to use her body.
And that's tough. You know, San Francisco's looking for that isolation, that 1v1 where she can use the space and her pace. Indy's got to make sure they're tucking a covering defender underneath.
Zula over the head of Soderstrom. Creel once again winning this battle against Gomes. Gomes showing a bit of frustration. Creel will win the free kick. Back in her time at BYU, Gomes scored 23 goals, had the same number of assists, was the player of the year in her sophomore season before she got drafted in 2018. And funny enough, just like Maddie Williams was a year ago, Gomes was found at the Glens Open tryouts this year. Now she's got the captain's armband on.
Imagine that. Imagine being a coach and having her come into your open tryout.
You got to be thinking, are you in the right spot?
You could see it in warm-ups. You could see it, and so you can imagine as that open tryout went, they're just probably like, okay, we're good, we're done, it's over, we're taking you.
Got what we needed. Elise Evans pickpocketed by Chester, but she's able to get back onto the end of it. It's interesting too with, obviously, you know, this is the first year of that California division for USL W League, so a lot of these teams, while there's a great core here, and probably maybe it applies to other teams in that California division, they had to find new talent and things like that as well.
And you talk about how the base surface is built. You know, they're developed their own. They've all played through that system. They're all familiar with it. So, you know, when you're starting it out, you're building it from the base, and you're developing the players, and they understand the system. They understand the terminology. It makes such a difference.
Grace Barr stands over this free kick about 10 yards inside the San Fran half. Creel will go forward, so will Martin. Long ball, looking to the hands of Consuelos. She punches it away. The flag goes up for offside as Leah Martin's late shot bounces off the post. Reminder that Masters Heating and Cooling. Masters gets there faster. Find out how at 866-824-HEAT or mastersheatandcool.com. Nine minutes of regular time remaining in this first half with Indy up 1-0. If you're joining us late, it was a 14th minute Addie Chester goal that put them ahead. It was almost her ball right there that put Maddie Williams through.
What a great chance.
Elise Evans looking long towards Gomes. Creel gets her head to it. Really well placed to the feet of Soderstrom. Now Rogers. Rogers, another one of those players that plays in the Big East. Will be entering her junior season at Xavier in the fall after being on the all-freshman team in 2021. Had a trio of goals, 5 assists in this last season.
One change you've seen since the goal is the pressure in which Indy is stepping to the ball from the back line. The balls that are played into the midfield, you've got defenders and you've got midfielders that are stepping into the lanes, stepping right to the ball and contesting every touch.
As Aaliyah Martin showed there about 10 seconds ago. Glens getting numbers forward this time. Here's Marcis, wide to Slava. One-on-one with Jenna Chatterton. Cuts inside with that left, into the box. Martin trying to clear it away. It's still there, bouncing around. Reason picks it up. Fluid Waste Services is Indiana's premier utility service provider, all the way since 1989. Evans making her way forward. Marcis out wide. Chatterton trying to get back to it. The cross comes in. The header is there from Frias, but first Creel got there. Now is a center back winning a header. Nothing more, nothing less. All the way forward now, and that will be a free kick won by Jenny Imathan.
That's trouble.
Before that, we'll tell you Alpha Health and Wellness is official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor. So San Fran will set this one up. Elise Evans is the one to bring the ball in, but Nadia Gomes will be the one to place it down. That is a not dissimilar position to the one that Grace Barr scored earlier this season.
My goodness.
It'll take a lot to recreate that, though. If there's anybody on this field that can do it, it is Gomes. Gomes over it with her left foot. She'll put her laces through it, and it gets all the way through. What a finish from the former NWSL player to tie things up in the USL W League semifinal.
It's one of those ones that you look, does it nick off of somebody? Was the wall mis-set? Keeper out of position?
I think that flicked off the wall. It didn't look like it had much spin on it to start, and then once it kind of went by the wall, it started curling. Unlucky in that situation for no reason. So Indy 11 concedes just their 4th goal all season, the first in a month. And San Fran puts the pressure on once again right away. Imathin wide. Here's Jislava. The cross comes in, Martin clears it away.
Goals are funny things. You saw that with Indy scored, it changed the entire complexion of the game. Their willingness to press, their speed in transition. San Francisco trying to force play a little bit more. Now you take a look at this goal, and how does it elevate the confidence of San Francisco? Do they get back to how they were playing in the first 5-10 minutes? How does it keep Indy's confidence alive?
A flick on towards Chester. Bautista gets there first, but isn't able to clear. Chester, and there's the freshman of the year in the NCAA, Elise Evans, there to clean things up. And how big of an interception was that?
My goodness, the ball got away from Chester just a little bit. She wasn't able to get a clean touch and drive it across.
Referee blows his whistle. These last 5 minutes of the first half brought to you by Johnson Controls, the power behind your mission. Chester's on to the end of it once more.
Oh, what a touch.
Trying to get past Evans. Looking for Maddie Williams, but once again, Bautista is positioned very well. Bautista will be heading to her junior year at Oregon State. Has only started 9 games so far in 2 years, but has played 36. So she has experience, but going up against Maddie Williams, it's a whole different set of story. Went to the same high school as her keeper did, actually, Benuelos as well. So they've known each other for a while.
Good tackle.
Chatterton cuts it out on the far side. Speaking of those that have known each other for a while, same thing with Jenna Chatterton and Nona Reason, who both went to Noblesville High School nearby, 2-time state champs. Here's Penn. She'll cut inside this time. Finds Marcis in a lot of space, but Krzula cut it out right away.
Yeah, great touch by Krzula. If she didn't get a piece of it, she was gone.
Rogers and Dewey doing the tough work defensively. Here's Chester now.
Oh, my goodness. A little early on that whistle.
Creel looking forward towards Sam Dewey. Against Bautista. Bautista will have to keep it in that corner. Really well done there in the back line, but then they give it away. Soderstrom keeps it in to the byline. Ella Rogers trying to work in front of it, and Penn will clear it away. No nonsense defending. As we tick towards 45 minutes into this one, tell me if I'm wrong here, but it feels like there's an air of both teams are like, okay, we've both given it our all in this first half. Let's get into halftime, reset, catch our breath a little bit.
I think you saw a little bit of that in the body language of some of the players on that last through ball. It was like, if it's not defeat, should I spend the energy to get it?
Handed away by Imathin. Imathin played at center back last game, and with the introduction of Bautista here tonight, she's been able to slide forward into midfield. Midfielder from TCU. Actually spent this last year, her freshman year with Loyola Marymount, but she will be joining the Horned Frogs this fall. Chester makes her way to it, gets her foot onto it once more. Cleared away by Evans. Here's Creel. Grazula with 2 players on her right away.
It's a high line, I like the thought.
Barr looking over, looking for either Dewey or Williams, but they do have numbers forward now, Indy 11. Soderstrom will take it herself. Looking for that early cross to the back post. Banuelos, did she get her hand to it? No. The referee's going to give a goal kick. It was a searching ball from Soderstrom that couldn't pick out Chatterton, rolling it at the back post late. I think that's the right call. Final seconds of this first half. As the referee blows his whistle, well, there's one thing that I think anybody can say, regardless of what they saw in the first half, is this game has lived up to its billing. This is a semifinal, Brett. Your thoughts on this first half?
I'd say I am so impressed with the tactical decision from Paul Dolinsky to slide Katie Soderstrom back. You take a look at the prolific scorer and you're saying, hey, I'm going to adjust your role here. You know what a gamble that is, and how few times a coach will have the confidence to mess up the lineup in that way, but it has paid dividends. Not only has she been able to be effective getting forward, but she's done a nice job of providing a high side double team when needed on Gomes.
We'll check out the highlights. We'll talk more first half. We'll update you on the other USL W League semifinal happening right now after we take a break here from Grand Park in Indiana. Halftime 1-1 in the USL W League semifinal.
Looking to keep your home comfortable year-round? Look no further than Masters Heating and Cooling. Right now, you can save up to $2,599 on new system installations with 0 down and up to 72 months financing. That's unbeatable value and unbeatable comfort. And if you're just looking to maintain your current home comfort system, we've got you covered with a $69 tune-up from Masters. Don't miss out. Both offers expire April 30th. Contact Masters Heating and Cooling today and experience the ultimate in home comfort.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name is Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
Back inside Grand Park at halftime. We're here in Indianapolis, Indiana, alongside Brad Hodder. I'm Ian Gilmore. Brad, we thought this was going to be sort of a slugfest, a heavyweight fight, and it was San Francisco that came out early, and it looked like they were the only team that were going to score in that first half early on. What changed for that Indy 11 goal, you feel?
Well, the elevated line of pressure changed the game, but that came after the goal. The goal was just one of these ones where they had some numbers in, they had good spacing in the box, the ball bounced around, they were able to put it away. So great job of being able to have the bodies forward to be able to do that. Once that happened, the confidence, the line of pressure, everything elevated from Indy 11, and then the game looked like it was going to be a blowout the other way. San Francisco scores, they found their footing again. It is incredible how much psychological momentum happens when a goal scores. You know, very little in that game actually changes, but it's the mindset of the players, the psychology of the players just tilts it one way or another.
Nadia Gomes got that goal for San Francisco. I've said this already. I've loved that battle she's been having with Annika Creel. Creel, you could probably say, won the battle between the two of them, but Nadia Gomes has the goal. Curious on your thoughts of those two tonight.
I think Gomes is fantastic. Might be one of the best players I've seen come into this building and play against us. She's fantastic. I think the job that Indy is doing, not just with Creel being able to be the pressing defender and the containing defender at one time, the job of either Soderstrom coming in on the high side with pressure or other players tucking in behind to allow her a bit of cover has made her less effective the last 30 minutes. I mean, the first 5 minutes looks like she was going to run through anything that we put in front of her. Unfortunate that she was able to gain that goal and gain a little bit of confidence off of that shot.
There have been chances for Indy 11. There was probably a chance to go up 2-0, and then there was probably a chance after that to go up 3-0. If you're Paul Dolinsky, how do you make sure your players' heads aren't going down, especially if it's somebody like Ella Rogers who doesn't get a chance like that often?
You know, it's just too much at stake here. You worry about that at the end of a match, or you worry about that in training. Right now, you've just got to find the buttons that you have to push. If somebody needs a little boost of confidence, it's a pat on the back. If somebody needs to be chewed out, you do that. But you know your team at this point. You know the personalities. You know what buttons to push.
What does Mike Shirabi say at halftime?
He's like, hey, you can't let a situation in the back. You know, we had everything going for us. Everything, the goal came against the run of play, and then all of a sudden we couldn't complete passes in the middle of the field. It was turnover after turnover after turnover, and Indy was working out a transition and just continuing to dominate that middle part of the game. One of the things you say at that point is don't change who you are. You know, you're effective in these moments. You give up a goal, and then all of a sudden you can't complete a 10 to 15-yard pass. Come on, you're better than that.
There have been 2 goals here tonight. There's been 3 goals in the other USL W League semifinal. We'll tell you who scored them after this break.
And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And we're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
Real quick, if you are sending video to a college coach, would you want it to look like this? Did he save it? Who knows? Come on. Do you want your potential coach to see that video or this one? Of course, the answer is simple. Give us a call or check out our website, recruitproductions.com, for more information.
The main part of my job is definitely listening. People deserve transparency. I don't want the financial part to be something that stops or hinders a patient from having the health care that they need. I try to treat each person like they're my mom or my grandmother, my daughter, my husband. I want them to know that they are not just another phone call for us. And it's very rewarding to know that I can provide peace of mind.
Highlights from the first half in Indianapolis. It's 1-1 at the break. Brad, take us through these.
Well, I love this. The ball movement was incredible and just a great opportunity. She would definitely want that back to strike it a little bit better. Looked like it came off the end of her foot. This is fantastic. I think everybody in the building was saying, okay, Maddie, you're going to take it closer to goal and draw a defender to you. She didn't. She opted for the early serve. Ball bounces around. Bam! Great finish on a tough ball to strike. Gomes, absolutely incredible. I mean, the pace that she has, her ability to create opportunities for herself. You know, you figure it's going to come in the run of play with how good she is, and it comes off of a set piece and surprises nobody in the building that she's the first on the board for the Glens.
Unlucky for no reason, taking a flick off the wall and spinning a bit there. The other semifinal is not tied. North Carolina Courage up 3-0 over Eagle FC at halftime. So all signs are pointing to that being the other team in the final. We have to decide who's going to be in the final here. Before we do that, I know the The men's team for Indy 11 is off this weekend. Brad, coming off a Wednesday 1-1 draw with the third-place team in the conference, Charleston Battery. Your thoughts on how that team has fared recently?
The impressive thing, if you take a look at record and results and stuff all the time, and that's all that you look at, you say, okay, we're kind of floating a little bit right with that playoff line. We're right in, we're still in a good spot, still hold our destiny. But when you take a look at the adversity that this team has had to deal with injuries and suspensions and all of this stuff, all coming off the back line, and the cut and paste job that you've had to do to not just change systems because you didn't have enough defenders, but figure out ways to convince guys to play in different spots in a different way and then still be able to grind out results. Now, hopefully this little stretch allows players to get healthy and you come back and, well, actually you might be healthy, but you're still going to have 2 guys out for the game. So again, it's another game where you're dealing with a little bit of adversity. At one point, you'd love as a coach to say, I'm going to be able to put my best 11 in their spots and play the way that we want to play.
And we're 18 games in. We probably haven't seen that. If we have, it's been maybe one game. When Robbie Damrock gets sent off in the 88th, 89th minute in that game, I mean, we were finally going towards a game where something like that doesn't happen. Just if you put yourself in Mark Lowry's mind, just what is it that's going through? It's like, how does this keep happening?
Yeah, as a coach, there are times that, you're standing there and it's like, we can't lose. No matter what happens, we find a way to win. And then there are times too, it's like right now, we can't dodge adversity. Something is going to happen in this game where we're going to lose. Budati, 90 seconds in, separates his shoulder. I mean, just sometimes it's a freak landing or it's a weird red card or something that happens that just changes the entire complexion of the game in the snap of a finger.
Well, they're off again this weekend, so this is the only action for Indy 11 at all. This game on Friday. Men are back in action next Saturday at home. We'll take a break, and on the other side of this, we'll be back. Second half action from Indianapolis in the USL W League semifinal.
From the engine to the transmission, Honda certified it. Drive with confidence, knowing from mile 1 to mile 100,000, you're backed with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Only available at your local Honda dealer.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me.
From the engine to the transmission, Honda certified it. Drive with confidence, knowing from mile 1 to mile 100,000, you're backed with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Only available at your local Honda dealer.
Back inside Grand Park. 2 minutes to go before we get the second half started between San Francisco Glens and Indy 11. 1-1 at the break. Indy 11 with the advantage in shots in that first half, 7-4. Benuelos credited with 6 saves in that first half. So we'll see how this next half goes. Paul Dolinsky, if you're in that locker room with him, what do you think was said to his players?
I think probably both coaches said something very similar. You get scored on, hey, that's going to happen in the flow of a game. It can't change your ability to play the game. You looked at that middle 15 to 20 minutes, the amount of pressure that Indy was stepping from their back line up into the midfield. San Francisco could not complete a pass in the middle field. Indy was out in transition. Then they score the goal in that last 5-6 minutes. Indy was unable to really grab possession like they did in that middle block.
San Francisco familiar with this scoreline. That's where it was for a while against Cal Storm in their conference championship. Before Karina Laguerre unleashed a rocket into the top corner with just 2 minutes left to go in the game. Indy 11 for them, this is pretty unfamiliar territory. Again, this is only the 4th goal in 13 games now that they've conceded all season. So we saw it once. They did it against Louisville here at home. That one ended 1-1. The other time was also here at home in a 2-0 loss to St. Charles, which galvanized them for the rest of the season. A 16-0 win. It's a little bit of revenge in the last game of the regular season. Doesn't look like we'll have any substitutions or changes out of this halftime break, but we will keep an eye and let you know if we do see any of those. We'll switch sides, so Indy 11 will work from right to left. San Francisco Glens will go left to right. Again, that first half lived up to all the hype that was around it. This is, no doubt about it, a semifinal. Indy 11 last year didn't get to this point. There was only 8 teams in the playoffs last year, and they were ousted in the quarterfinals by Minnesota Aurora. Of course, they worked those demons out last week when they beat Minnesota 1-0 in the conference championship up in Flint, Michigan. It was a Sam Dewey goal that day that got them the win. Tonight it's been an Addie Chester goal to open things up, and a Nadia Gomes goal to equalize for the Glens late in that first half, which leaves us where we are. 45 minutes down and 45 minutes to go to try to decide a winner and who will move on to the USL W League 2023 final. Of course, if we can't figure one out in 90 minutes, we'll go to extra time. If that's not enough, we will go to penalties.
What'll be interesting to see is what kind of tactical change. You've got 22 outstanding players on the field, and then you've got some next level players that have been moved around. You know, Soderstrom dropping back. Does anything change, not just at the start, but maybe there's some tactical, hey, let the game settle in for 15 minutes, then maybe get a little bit higher up the field. Also for Gomes, with the way that Indy was defending her with the double team with Soderstrom, are you going to move her? And it looks like that decision is yes. Going to flip sides with her and have her come in from the right side right now. So you look at things that coaches pick up in the first 45 minutes a half, and where do they think we can get a little 1%, 2% advantage in the second 45?
It'll be interesting once subs start to come into this game, how they affect it as well. No changes for either side at the half. As Brad mentioned, Nadia Gomes will stay on this near side. Obviously, that'll be switching sides for her as we switch sides at halftime. 40 more minutes of regular time to try to decide a winner here. San Francisco back on the front foot right from the start. Long ball over the top to Maddie Williams. Bautista just plays it out.
So the part with Soderstrom coming back as an outside right back and then getting the freedom to go forward from there was something picked up on film, knowing that Gomes was going to be on the left side. San Francisco now says, okay, that was pretty effective. They, outside of that first 5-10 minutes, she didn't have the opportunities that she normally has. So let's move her to the left. Now, was there enough conversation in Indy's locker room to say, hey, if we move?
Soderstrom with the ball in. Chester brings it down. A better touch, and she might have had a second goal on the evening.
Was there enough conversation at halftime to say, hey, if they move her, here's our move?
Chatterton is obviously more of a natural defender at left back, left wing back tonight. But she gets forward with a lot of them, especially with her speed. She's such an asset attacking as well. Here's Elise Evans. Penn moving forward. Right here to Halliday. Halliday gives it away, though.
I love the thought by Halliday there. I just didn't like the execution. She's taking it right at Chatterton, knowing she's got Gomes out on the outside, trying to get Chatterton to commit to her to free up the space where she can play Gomes. It just wasn't executed correctly, but I love the idea.
Chatterton looked to beat Gomes, but ran out of real estate on the side. Halliday also spent her freshman season at Loyola Marymount, just like Jenny Itherman, excuse me. Another player, we've said it many times tonight, Halliday, another one that has 2 national championships with Bay Area Surf and ECNL 2019, 2021. Chatterton cuts inside here.
I trust Grace Barr in those moments, but I don't trust Gomes in her pressure, so I don't want to see too much interplay between the backs when that pressure is starting to close down.
All 3 of these center backs for Indy have spent time in the NWSL. Creel with Houston Dash. Aaliyah Martin was was signed to a 1-year contract in December of 21 with the Washington Spirit. Grace Barr has spent time with Racing Louisville. Gomes making her way into the box. That one takes a deflection, goes all the way to Penn. Looked like Islava might have been offside there. Yeah, and she was. Just a reminder that you can take Indy 11 with you wherever you go. Download the Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or get it on Google Play. And Soccer Saturday. If you're not listening to Soccer Saturday, you're doing something wrong. Presented by Indy 11. Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Soccer Saturday is religious listening for me. Here's Eddie Chester through. Eddie Chester's one-on-one with Benuelos. Eddie Chester and another huge save from Benuelos. Sam Dewey on the follow-up puts it out for a goal kick. The goalkeeper is keeping him in the game. Benuelos, that's the 3rd time tonight she's came up huge.
What a great save. Great through ball to Addie Chester. She just uses her pace to separate. What a save.
The St. Mary's sophomore has been massive for the Glens tonight. Soderstrom retakes it in the middle of midfield. Dewey with numbers. Sam Dewey in through to Maddie Williams. Wow. Maddie Williams!
Sam Dewey, what a ball.
It's automatic. That connection is staggering. They love playing together, and they love scoring goals together. And Indy 11 is up in this semifinal.
Look at this ball from Sam Dewey. Almost looked like she's going to pull the trigger, freezes the defenders in, finds a little flick into the space for Maddie Williams. She freezes the keeper, bends it around her far post.
The emotion coming out of Maddie, that's not something you see very often. She's a very stoic person. But when you score that kind of goal in this kind of game, it's gonna come out.
Look at that. Sam Dewey, what an incredible ball. You give Maddie Williams the ball in the box with that kind of space, it's gonna be in the back of the net.
Those two are tight, on the field and off the field. Sam's made multiple jokes to me this season about them being the grandmas of the group. Usually they can only give 60 minutes just because of how far along they are in their careers. But when they're on the field, man, that is a heck of a 1-2 punch.
So ridiculously fast as well.
She's on it again once more. Sam Dewey, Addie Chester was trying to check her run, make sure she stayed on side, so the timing just wasn't there. Maddie Williams has scored goals in West Lafayette for fun. She scored goals in Holland. She scored goals in Spain. By the look on her face after that one, this one meant a lot to her and is probably high up on that list.
You know she's going to remember that one.
All-time leader for the Boilermakers in goals with 38, in assists with 26. San Francisco looking for an answer now. Grace Barr with the header, Krasler with the header. It only comes out to Marces, looking for the ball to Islava. Her left-footed cross. They're asking for a handball against Katie Soderstrom. Referee not agreeing.
It's a great ball through. He had the outside wing back split a little bit too far away from the center back. The run comes in. They tucked it between the two. Brilliant pass.
Katie Soderstrom is down, grabbing her head. Fluid Waste Services is Indiana's premier utility service provider. It's been like that all the way since 1989. Soderstrom seems to be okay, so the referee will let Nona Reason get things back underway. Dewey trying to flick it on, now to Chester. Foul in the middle, not exactly sure for what.
And I like the mindset of Sam Dewey right now. She wants that ball, she wants to play quickly before San Francisco can get back and get their defensive shape.
I'm very interested too in a game like this, Brad. This is massive. It's hard to take her off. It's hard to take her off the pitch. It's hard to take Maddie Williams off the pitch. So they did it in the regular season, and they could do it because typically by the time they came off, the games were set. But this one will not be like that. Bar, a long ball for Creel. Looping ball back over the bar and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, in those moments too, it's all performance-based now. You may have things during the season where you say, okay, we got to navigate 10 games and the playoffs, so this is what we're gonna put you at. We're gonna cap your minutes here, but when it's losing, you're done. When it's a chance to go to the national championship, I got to see a drop in performance before I'm gonna make that sub.
Soderstrom with the throw-in. Sam Dewey is kind of deceivingly physical as well. She's not the tallest. She's not the, but she is very good on the ball and at backing people off as well.
She's got a little fire in her too.
Yeah. She wins the free kick there. That is nearly the exact spot where Nadia Gomes scored in the first half. If I remember correctly, it's where those blue and red lines connected is pretty much right where it was. Grace Barr stands over it. It's a two-man wall.
Oh, I like this little, just touch it. Sam Dewey down the side.
Grace Barr's gonna run over it with her right foot. Sam Dewey with a lofted ball towards the back post, comes off the head of Martin. Creel kind of tried an overhead kick. Chester gets to it, cleared away but whiffed a bit. Dewey, a nice little ball over it once again.
You're kidding
Soderstrom
me.
Towards the byline, in towards Chester. Knocked away, and a free kick for a late tackle. Evans, I think a bit sarcastically, is happy to finally get one.
Sam Dewey has got a 9-iron going tonight, her pitching wedge. She has got every club in her bag at her disposal right now.
Getting the 56 out, the 60 degree. Here's Halliday. The 11 right now with 3 players warming up on the far side. Everybody on the Glens bench is on the bench. So Mike Schraube not planning on making subs anytime soon.
They've got good players everywhere, but they have been unable to free up Gomes consistently since the 10th minute.
We saw what she can do with just a dead ball and a set piece.
Oh, what a touch.
Chester forward. Soderstrom on the far side. Here's Chatterton. Ella Rogers has made her way all the way to the top line. Chester now once again on this left-hand side where she is so comfortable. Loves cutting in on that right foot. This time she can't beat Halliday. Here's Gomes. Kazula right on her back, but Gomes has room and space in front of her. And with her pace, that's a dangerous thing. Gomes still going. Creel got a heel to it. And after going past 3 defenders, the 4th one was a little too much for Gomes. Soderstrom forward. Williams has it. Running at Bautista. Soderstrom to her right. She elects to pass.
Great ball.
Williams makes her way into the box. Soderstrom's ball is kind of in between 2 Indy players and doesn't find the head of either of them. Penn tracks it down and keeps it in bounds, but right to the feet of Creel. Ella Rogers, not something she's used to, is the furthermost forward of the midfield trio for the girls in blue. Chatterton inside. Sam Dewey, time and space. Sam Dewey from distance, fakes and cuts inside. And a really nice poke away there by Laguerre. So they give it right back. Dewey. Maddie Williams might have been in there, but she might also have been offside. The pressure right now from Indy is constant. Soderstrom, probably about as deep as she's been a lot.
Oh.
What a ball forward to Maddie Williams. Maddie Williams to make it 3 and another huge save. This game would be all but out of reach if Banuelos hasn't played as amazingly as she has tonight.
Incredible. With Williams' speed and her ability to finish, you couldn't give her the space to get that next touch.
Again, this is a keeper who did not see any action in the fall with her college. Playing with form that suggests this summer has been really, really important for her. Leah Martin being hounded by Frias. We have not said Frias' name very much tonight as the striker for this Glens side. And that's a surprising statement, seeing she's coming from UCLA, played 8 games for the national champs this year. She's reffed both the USA and Mexico at U.S. Women's Youth national levels. Has not been able to crack that code of Creel, Martin, and Barr on the back line just yet. Maddie Williams into the back of Evans.
Good pressure.
Wins the throw-in, does Evans. If you're in town, well, this weekend, hopefully you already got your hotel, but next time you're coming, treat yourself to an elegant stay at the Renaissance, just minutes away from both Grand Park and downtown Carmel. There's Frias, Barr right on her back. The center backs for Indy tonight have been right on the back of any attacker. Chatterton making her way through. Referee will go to his pocket for the first time tonight. Jenny Imethin knew what she was doing, and there comes the yellow card that comes with it.
You love that explosive pace Chatterton has. She sees the seam, she sees the space, she knows there's going to be contact, but she also knows she can get in there first.
A foul that Imethin really had to make there too, because if Chatterton gets through those 3 defenders, it's numbers up and dangerous. Barr stands over the free kick. Right towards goal. I think she wanted Aaliyah Martin to run on to that one a bit quicker. These next 5 minutes brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. Barr wins it in the midfield, but right to the feet of Peyton Marzis. Another UCLA Bruin coming off a national championship. She did redshirt this past year, her freshman year, so didn't see any action being in that environment every day. Big. Katie Soderstrom takes a tumble. He was Yaslava in late on her. Free kick for Indy.
Heck of a job from Katie holding down this spot on the outside right back. You know, not just is it a tactical adjustment from the coaching staff, but you got to have buy-in from the player. You know, she's a goal scorer, and you're saying, look, we're gonna adjust because we want this win, and you're gonna be the best option for us in this spot. She's got to buy in, but then the other players also have to buy in as well, and not say, well, what are we doing? This is how we typically play. So, great job of coaching, but also just the psychology of these players saying, yeah, we believe, we'll follow.
Katie is a player too that if she misses a shot in training, she's mad. So you know that she loves scoring goals, and so her, like you said, buying into that ideal that, you know, she can help the team more in a different way. Barr moving forward. I think that was through ball for Chester. Instead it finds the feet of Banuelos, who's looking for Halliday. Chatterton there to meet her. Nice little flick inside. Can she get there? She can.
And great job, great gamble by Chatterton. Halliday comes up, and she's just looking to see, can she get Chatterton to engage and get a little flick past her into the space for Gomes.
Did really well to keep that one in, but her and Chester weren't on the same page. It's been a pretty constant thing throughout the year that there's been a sort of a revolving door at fullback. I know tonight it's wingback, but Lizzie Sexton, Rafferty Kugler both on the bench tonight, so interesting when we might see them in for either Soderstrom or Chatterton. Nice move there from Halliday to get by Chatterton. Forward to Frias. Good move down the right-hand side. Here's Gomes. Got the ball under her feet a little bit. Cutting inside. Moving forward is Penn. Penn's gonna try one from distance. Oh, that's fantastic! What a finish from the left back, and we're even.
It's a great shot. One of the things we talked about early in this match was they're willing to shoot the ball from any place on the field, and so you've got to be able to step up and make sure that that shot, that opportunity is contested.
And you see on that replay there, Soderstrom thought she should go for it and kind of stayed back, and that gave Penn just enough time.
Great effort. Great effort.
I don't know if there's any keeper that's saving that. Quality has been on display tonight, no more than that goal right there from Cameron Penn. Member of the Big West all-freshman team this past year in her first season at Cal Poly. She's no stranger to big games either. Assisted on the game winner to get Cal Poly their first conference title in 9 years this past fall. So it's game on. 25 minutes left to go.
What a game.
This has been fun. Out for a Glens throw. A team like Indy 11 that's conceded before this game 3 goals all season. You knew it was going to take something special to beat them, and it's taken 2 magnificent strikes. But if you're ever going to come across a team that's capable of them, it's going to be in the semifinals. In a league with over 60 teams, it's come down to 4. Which one of these 2 will be part of the final 2? Whose nerves will last longer? Frias, drop it back from Marcis. Wide now. 3 bodies in the box for San Fran.
Good move.
They'll cut to the edge. Once more, here's Halliday. Halliday with time and space. Chatterton out to meet it.
Great ball movement. Terrific job by the Glens, moving that ball across. 18 from one side of it to the other, all the way across the top. Everybody had the opportunity to pull the trigger. They just kept moving the ball, keeping Indy 11 off balance defensively.
Gomes was just about to get around Barr. Barr brought her down, so a chance again here for San Francisco. They'll load up on numbers in the box. 5 in it, 1 on the edge of it. Halliday over the free kick. Chatterton in the 1-person wall. Evans will make her way into the box now. Halliday's right foot to serve. Good ball towards that front post, headed away by Krasula, but straight up. Creel goes and meets it. Chester can't come away though. Here's Halliday. Sam Dewey is eventually the one to get it out towards halfway. Gomes is all the way on that left-hand side now. Martin trying to turn and keep in front of the cross. She's able to do that and able to keep it in bounds as well. Soderstrom thought it had enough on it, but the pass didn't. Penn, the goal scorer, who equalized, making her way forward. Bringing it down in the box. Krasula clears away. Maddie Williams is on an island up front. Here's Soderstrom now looking long. Chester's up there with Evans. Chester's maybe able to get on the end of it, but really good tracking from Halliday.
She played it perfectly with her pressing defender. She knew that it was going to lay up for her, but Halliday comes in and cleans it up.
Chester trying to play Rogers through. Creel being hounded by Frias. What a ball inside to Rogers.
Gomes just kind of hanging out, waiting for that ball in transition. When Indy's pressing that back line up for support when they've got the ball, it exposes that space behind, and she's just waiting for a ball to be delivered.
Maddie Williams is trying to do things on her own up front. Almost got away from Bautista, but Evans was there in coverage. Looking for that long ball to Gomes, all the way through to Reason. So we'll tell you that Johnson controls. Head to them. Johnson controls the power behind your mission. Smart building partner of Indy 11. Indy will try to play out from the back. Sam Dewey is coming short, wants it at her feet. Grace Barr deciding to go long.
See, here's where the trouble is. When Halliday takes it up, Chatterton has to make a decision.
Gomes on the byline, one-on-one with Barr. She gets help. Cross comes to the back post. Nobody there except Soderstrom. Interesting now, too, Indy 11 is leaving Chester. Williams forward, and the rest of the team is getting behind the ball every time San Francisco comes forward. San Fran has no trouble just leaving Bautista and Evans back as well. It's just 2-on-2.
Let's see if they keep going to it, because they're finding success with Halliday engaging Chatterton like this and then having opportunities to deliver the ball into the space out here wide right.
Barr cuts that one out. Chatterton and Krasula were a bit confused on who was going to it. Now it'll come to the feet of Gomes. Brings it down with her chest. Barr flying in there. Alpha Health and Wellness is the official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor. We will see our first substitutions of the night. Maisie Whitsitt will enter the fray for Indy 11. Gianna Yaslava will sit for San Francisco.
Substitution for San Francisco Glens SC in the 71st minute entering the game is number 5, Maddie Samillo. Leading the game, number 2, Gianna Yaslava.
Maddie Samillo, one of the few people along with Gomes that was born after or before the year 2000 on this squad. Referee's gonna call back for the first one. This one is, again, similar spot to what Gomes scored in the first half. This time it's a 3-person wall. Gomes stands over it with her left. Halliday there with her right. The referee will let Indy 11 make their substitution. So this is when that fitness does come into it. So Sam Dewey, Paul Dolinsky probably doesn't want to make this substitution, but here comes Maisie Whitsitt. It's nice when you have a person who's couple players that have scored more than 5 goals on the season, subbing in for one another.
Look, there's a little channel between the wall and Katie Soderstrom that Gomes can place it on the ground and just see if a Glens player can beat the defender to the ball.
She'll go for goal again. It was Grace Barr in the wall doing her job. Here's Whitsitt. Whitsitt was almost able to spring Williams. She will provide a different threat than Sam Dewey does. That one goes out for a goal kick, and we're seeing outside of your picture right now Chester is going to go into that Sam Dewey number 10 role, and Maisie Whitsitt will partner with Maddie Williams up front in a strike force. Whitsitt provides more of an aerial threat than Sam Dewey does. Giveaway from Evans, a bit uncharacteristic, at least of her tonight. Here's Rogers. Rogers dropping in to facilitate. Martin spraying it wide to Creel. Creel looking for a long ball, sort of over the top. Williams trying to backheel flick. It finds Whitsitt. We haven't seen really any big chances since that equalizer about 10 minutes ago from San Francisco.
I think when both teams look at the clock right now, it's that time where if you stretch yourself and get out of shape and take too many chances, you could be in trouble.
Ball over the top for Williams. Maddie Williams!
Get in!
Just out the post! Did Benuelos get a touch to that?
I believe she did.
Oh my goodness. How many big saves have kept San Francisco in this? That's 2 that Maddie Williams will want back.
What a great ball over the top.
What a save.
Just enough to get it past the post.
And I can tell you, in her mind, Maddie Williams will be asking why she doesn't have a hat trick right now. The answer is Isa Benuelos. Katie Soderstrom to serve the corner in the 75th minute. Out for a goal kick. It's 5 minutes brought to you by Alpha Health and Wellness, official Indy 11 W League team chiropractor. Rogers is wide. Soderstrom will cut inside. Here's Chester looking for the return ball. Gave it away. Gomes is in space if Halliday can find the ball over Chatterton. Looking down the line for it. Grace Barr is there first. Evans will go all the way back to Benuelos.
Why not? It's worth it.
Once again hounded by Maddie Williams. Greta Krasula comes to it at her feet. Whitsitt comes wide.
Oh, yeah, you had her wide.
Grace Barr taken down.
Now here's one too, an early ball. If you can get an early ball, you've got the high line from the Glens. It's a good turn.
Creel looking long over the top. Chester will chase it down. Batista's going to try to shepherd it out of play, and she does. Fluid Waste Services has been Indiana's premier utility service provider since 1989. Chatterton will press early on that. Halliday gets around her.
And Chatterton's got to be careful. You know, she's here. Her responsibility is marking up with Gomes, and then when Halliday starts to attack her, that ball comes to Halliday. She can't get caught in no man's land where she's halfway in between and unable to defend Gomes and unable to defend and pressure Halliday.
Whitsitt was on the back of Halliday. Halliday won the free kick. This is sort of becoming a chess match. I don't think anybody wants to lose this game. It's all about who's going to go and win it.
And that's where I think you'll see a lot less risk-taking unless the situation dictates that, hey, this is a really good opportunity, because you just can't get out of shape. It just takes one mistake to walk away and have your season ended.
Razula with high pressure on it. Inside to Chatterton, looking long over the top towards Whitsitt. Almost came down for her before Evans got her foot to it. Knocked on by Gomes towards Frias. Penn cuts inside from her left back spot. Switches to the opposite fullback. Through ball to Gomes. Good ball by Halliday. Gomes gets there, wants to cut inside on her left. She does. Cuts back across, and Martin does well to cut it out, but it's a corner for the Glens.
And that's that tough piece. You may want, as Halliday has the ball, it's causing a lot of problems for Indy right now. Chatterton's on an island. You need a little bit of help. Somebody's got to come and press Halliday so Chatterton can stay home.
Maddie Williams is on the halfway line. She's the only player not for Indy 11 in the box. Nona Reason comes to get it, and she does. Indy 11 have numbers here if they go.
Reason, great collection.
Over the head of Bautista, Maddie Williams, only player in front of her is Penn. Gets to the outside, Maddie Williams has got to go herself.
Unreal.
That one was a bit easier for Buñuelos, but made the save nonetheless.
And clean, handles it clean.
If I'm counting right, I think that's save number 10 on the night for Buñuelos tonight. These next 5 minutes brought to you by Recruit Productions. If you want to play college soccer, let Recruit Productions tell your story and get noticed. Visit recruitproductions.com for more info.
It's well defended by Grace Barr. She jumped into the passing lane to deny that ball being able to play through.
Frias still able to get it to Gomes. She keeps it in. Aaliyah Martin out to meet her. She'll try the early cross. Soderstrom gets there first. Now it's with Penn. All the way back to Evans with Whitsitt right on her. Evans so calm under pressure.
That was a big gamble.
Ball through. Frias, I think, was saying she was getting pulled, or excuse me, that's Marcis in there. Halliday meets it on the bounce. Krasula right on her. That one to the feet of Soderstrom. Soderstrom was bumped off it afterwards. Referee keen to let things play on.
Good turn.
Marcis plays to the outside.
Bad ball.
Of Samillo. And Indy 11 will make a couple more substitutions. Greta Krasula, who has played fantastic tonight, will exit. Rafferty Kugler on for her. Jenna Chatterton will exit as well. So that's that fullback we were talking about. So Lizzie Sexton will come in for Chatterton and take up the left wing back spot.
I think that sub with Sexton, I think that's as much a let's get fresh legs in there as it is let me get some tactical instruction in there so we don't get caught in between being unable to mark and unable to press.
Another free kick for San Francisco. Evans is over it. Six body is near the box for the Glens. Long ball right on the penalty spot. Creel gets her head to it first. Halliday from long range. That one not going to go, though. So what changes will we see here formation-wise? It looks like Aaliyah Martin will push farther up the field, so as Greta Krasula exits, Martin will push up and take her spot. And I think we might see a little bit more of a 4-back rather than a 5. Katie Soderstrom still a little bit reserved in her motion up the field. Whitsitt wins the flick on. No one really to get there, though. Martin was chasing after it, so too Williams. Does extra time favor one team or another?
I tell you, you've got home run hitters on both sides. And so right now you can see both of them are trying to find either that ball over the top for Indy that Maddie Williams can chase down or that little through ball that they can slip into Gomes. So both teams are playing to their strength right now, and it's going to be which one of those two has more in the tank.
Speaking of that, I don't think we've seen Maddie Williams play 82 minutes in a game since at least last season. How much does she have left? How much will she have to reserve? Keep the sprints to a minimum until she needs to. Long ball from Creel, taken down on the knee by Whitsitt. Looking for Chester at that back post. The ball lofted in. The run was just a little bit angled in the wrong direction. Kugler misplays it. Samillo running forward. Kugler does well to make up for her own mistake, though. Hard challenge on the far side. Looked like Samillo got the ball. The referee didn't agree.
Typically, this point in the game with this much pressure on it, it often comes after just a mistouched or a bad decision or a turnover, and the other team capitalizes on it.
It'd be a shame if that's the way this game was decided.
You'd always love for it to be ended with, hey, it's just beautiful play and there was nothing we could do, as opposed to fatigue creating a turnover or a bad bounce, bad ball. This game is wickedly cruel.
Katie Soderstrom on the far side. Ella Rogers cuts it out in midfield. They will recycle and start again from Grace Barr.
Great ball.
Heck of a switch to Chester. Penn gets there first just to tap it out. Quick throw into Soderstrom. Katie's sister Susie is on the bench. She's featured recently in the 11 games. Creel had that one hiccup with Gomes earlier on, and since then she has been solid as a rock on the back line. Same with Aaliyah Martin and Grace Barr tonight.
And I tell you, I think at this place right now, it's less interplay and more, hey, get the ball forward. If there's going to be a mistake made, let's have the mistake made in our attacking third.
That injection of energy and fire into the midfield of Aaliyah Martin has already proved well for Indy. Chester lets it run across her. Looking to get it inside for Williams. And then Gomes gets there in front of Whitsitt. Gomes on a full sprint against Sexton. Sexton's got pace, though. And she's able to win it back. She'll go herself, too. Trying to find Chester. Passes off the mark.
And that's the one. You can't be forcing the ball into traffic because it leads to transitional opportunities for both teams. So in these moments, you're just looking to see if it's not a clear ball, let's lay it over the top, put it out into space.
This is where Katie Soderstrom likes to move down that right-hand side. Trying to get towards the byline, shovels Penn off of it, but Penn does really well there. Not only to keep it in, but find her teammate. Here's Samillo.
What a
slide
tackle.
tackle put in by Martin. Sexton gets there first. Sexton forward. What a cutout there by Evans. And Evans can run. She'll make her way forward now. Two players in front of her. Grace Barr in front of Gomes to cut it out, though. Creel, no nonsense forward if that gets over the head of Bautista. Thought for a second there, Maddie Williams could have been in. Well defended. Here's Sexton. Sexton, another one of those Louisville Cardinals. The trio of them for Indy 11 are all on the pitch now. Sexton, Whitsitt, Chester. Here comes Frias. Wide now, Samillo whips one towards the back side. The header comes straight down to Frias, trying to get past Grace Barr.
It's a good job by Grace. Frias had half a window, and Grace was able to get in there and slam it closed.
Martin's trying to not let anything past her, but a nice reverse ball now. Sexton away, Whitsitt brings it down. Here's Soderstrom. Chester in front of her. That's what she'll look to do. Clipped ball over Penn. And Penn wins that battle. How good has she been tonight? Topped it all off with a goal as well. Referee's gonna go to his pocket here. And that one is for Addie Chester. These last 5 minutes brought to you by Johnson Controls. Power behind your mission. What will they bring Less than 3 to go to the end of regular time. Here's Aaliyah Martin. Every time she's coming forward, it looks dangerous. Maddie Williams in to win it. She's offside. Benuelos made the save too.
This place will explode if one of those frees her up.
Every time they go forward, it seems like those runs that Williams is making, that Whitsitt is making, one's just gonna come off. Benuelos has stood tall all night. As we enter the 89th minute of this USL W League semifinal, knotted at 2. Soderstrom forward. Chester.
It's got to move a little bit quicker. You know, fatigue sometimes has those decisions taking a little bit longer to make.
Soderstrom with the ball into the box, deflected. Benuelos is able to keep it in. No corner for Indy. Header flicked on by Rogers, but Creel finds it at her feet. Forward to one of her teammates. Here's that ball again where Sexton doesn't know whether to commit to Halliday and leave Gomes or not. It's happening with Chatterton earlier.
And you saw, you look at the instruction that must have come from the bench where it's like, hey, Whitsitt, you come and help out. Sexton, you stay. Let's make sure we protect that space behind. Now, to San Francisco's credit, they flipped Gomes to the other side again. How can they take care of fatigue leg, take advantage of fatigue legs on Soderstrom?
Barr coming forward with Frias, who's dropped in to find it. Reverse ball to Samillo, really well defended there. That was important from Sexton.
Yeah, well played. Same stuff we were having with Chatterton here and Sexton is Grace Barr stepped to press a ball. Now that opened up a pocket in the center of the field for them to attack.
Chester looking for Maddie Williams, cut out by Evans. Forward by Martin. Here's Chester. Wide is Katie Soderstrom. She'll come inside. Really nice skill by Chester. She's still going. Evans got her foot to that, and that took all of the sting out of that shot. As we've hit 90 minutes, we will have 2 minutes of added time before possibly 30 of extra time. Can a winner be found at the death here? Samillo has switched flanks. She's on this near side now. The product of UC San Diego. Kugler will work that one forward to Williams right away. Indy have numbers forward. 3-on-2. San Francisco trying to track back. The long ball to the back post. Whitsitt is there with her head. Aaliyah Martin is there with her head.
Oh my goodness!
And they have won it! In the 91st minute in the USL W League semifinal. Aaliyah Martin's header is sending Indy to the promised land.
What an incredible opportunity. You expected, just like on that first goal, Maddie Williams to attack the front post to see if she could draw the defenders and the keeper in, and instead hits the early serve. Indy's first to the ball. What a great touch to finish it off.
I'll say I initially thought Chester should have given Whitsitt a yell to leave it. And then, honestly, the way she's been playing all game, I thought Benuelos was going to get a hand to it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maddie Williams will check out. Susie Soderstrom will check in.
And you see Coach Dolinsky pointing to his head. Be smart. Be smart. Do not get stretched out of shape right now.
You got 1 minute. They'll probably add a whole nother one onto this. If you defend, you keep the ball out of the net, you're headed to the USL W League final. Soderstrom down the line, wins the throw-in. Sexton makes her way forward. There are 2,000 people just waiting to hear a whistle right now. Indy 11 wins another throw-in. You keep it there, and that will not be a problem.
How about that? The game is going to end right here in front of the BYB.
They weren't happy they didn't get a home game in the playoffs last year. They weren't happy it was in Flint last weekend. It didn't matter because you win and you get to play at home. That's what they've seen today. The effort that's been put out there by the team in checkers tonight been fantastic. The fans have matched it in their song and voice tonight. That's it! A game that lived up to all the hype around it. And Indy 11 will head to the USL W League Final.
What a game. What an absolutely incredible game.
We'll get together on the front half. Now they get together with Nona Reason. A goalkeeping room that's only given up 5 goals all season. A team that's relied on its attacking prowess. Once again, they had to tonight. The winner coming from a center back of all people who got her chance in NWSL, came back here for the summer. Aaliyah Martin in herself is, she can't go to training because she has a full-time job, and she's out here sending Indy to the final.
Well, you talked about this being a title fight. That was 2 great teams, and each one of them grabbed moments in this game and just absolutely controlled it where you think, uh-oh, the other one's in trouble. The other one's on the ropes. They've got them. They're going to put them to the mat, and then they fought back. Each team fought back and then took control of the game again, and it's a late extra time game winner to send Indy to the finals.
A word on the San Francisco Glens. An amazing first season in the W League. Tonight we saw why they were in the semifinal. Individual brilliance, togetherness, and it's a shame that they had to lose. It's a shame that anybody had to lose this game. And unfortunately, that's going to be a long trip for them back to San Fran, but heads held high, have to be.
Well, terrific team. Great pace on the team, great technical ability, but the thing that was impressive is they understood how to play. They had a purpose, they had a game plan, and they played to it. Now, again, I'll talk about it again. Paul Belinsky making that adjustment to put Katie Soderstrom back on the outside back. Gutsy move, courageous move as a coach, and it's one that elevates them to the finals.
A lap of honor. We'll run to the corner. We'll salute the fans. We got to take a breath here. Those last 5 minutes especially were something. This team is headed to the final. As far as I know, I believe they'll be taking on the North Carolina Courage. The culmination of a long season, the culmination of hard work. It took everybody tonight, the coaches, the players, the subs. Brad, your final thoughts here on an historic night for Indy.
Well, you talked about Maddie Williams and such an impactful player that she is, and that she hadn't gone past 60 minutes. And you take a look at still the impact she was having in the 70th and 80th minute of being able to really press that back line and stress the goalkeeping of San Francisco. And then in that final moment, to deliver a ball into that pocket as she did was what changed this result in this game.
The fans will soak this in. The city will soak this in. Into a final for the girls in blue. This broadcast was brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care simply delivered, and Alpha Health and Wellness, official team chiropractor for Indy 11 W League. And this copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League. For everybody on our crew tonight, for everybody that was watching, thank you for tagging along with us. For Brad Hodder, I've been Ian Gilmore. Next week, Indy 11 will be playing in the USL W League Final. 3-2, the final score from Indianapolis.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
At Masters Heating and Cooling, we dedicate ourselves to serving our community with professional service and groundbreaking home comfort solutions, keeping each and every customer comfortable in their homes all year round, which is why we offer financing options, perks, and coupons to each of our customers. Like our apples to apples price match guarantee. We'll meet or beat any heating and cooling system replacement offer. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone or visit our website to learn more about Masters Heating and Cooling's money-saving offers and other unique special promotions.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name is Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me. And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And we're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.